Imagine a disease so deadly that once symptoms appear, it's almost always fatal. That's the terrifying reality of rabies, a viral infection that attacks the brain and nervous system. While we often associate rabies with aggressive dogs, any mammal can carry and transmit this deadly virus. From seemingly harmless bats to sly foxes, the threat of rabies lurks in unexpected places. Ignorance about rabies prevention can have devastating consequences, making awareness and proactive measures vital. An infected animal may not exhibit any visible signs, making it difficult to detect the danger. This is why it's crucial to treat every encounter with wildlife, especially bats, with extreme caution. Worldwide, tens of thousands of people die from rabies each year, a stark reminder of the disease's global impact. By understanding the risks, getting vaccinated, and practicing responsible pet ownership, we can significantly reduce the incidence of this deadly disease. Remember, knowledge is power, and in the case of rabies, it can be the difference between life and death. Rabies, a word that sends shivers down our spines, is caused by a virus belonging to the genus. This virus has a particular affinity for the nervous system, wreaking havoc on the brain and spinal cord. Once the virus enters the body, it embarks on a relentless journey, traveling through nerves towards the central nervous system. This journey, known as the incubation period, can vary greatly, ranging from a few weeks to even months. During this time, the virus remains silent, replicating without causing any noticeable symptoms. The symptoms of rabies are as varied as they are devastating. Initially, an infected individual may experience flu-like symptoms such as fever, headache, and muscle weakness. As the virus progresses, neurological symptoms take center stage, leading to confusion, agitation, hallucinations, and even paralysis. Hydrophobia, the fear of water, is a classic symptom often associated with rabies. Understanding the nature of the rabies virus, its mode of transmission, and the progression of the disease is crucial for effective prevention and control. Vaccination stands as our first and most powerful line of defense against rabies. Both pre-exposure and post-exposure vaccines are available, providing comprehensive protection against this deadly disease. Pre-exposure vaccination is typically recommended for individuals at high risk of exposure, such as veterinarians, animal handlers, and travelers to rabies-endemic areas. Post-exposure prophylaxis, PEP, is a life-saving intervention administered after a potential rabies exposure. PEP typically involves a series of rabies vaccine injections along with rabies immunoglobulin, providing immediate antibodies to fight off the virus. Time is of the essence with PE, as its effectiveness hinges on prompt administration. Beyond vaccination, simple yet effective practices can significantly reduce the risk of rabies exposure. Keeping our furry companions up to date on their rabies vaccinations is paramount. Responsible pet ownership includes keeping our pets leashed when in public areas and avoiding contact with stray or wild animals. Remember, prevention is always better than cure, and in the case of rabies, it can be the difference between life and death. Recognizing the signs of potential rabies exposure is crucial for timely intervention. While not all animals that bite or scratch are rabid, it's essential to treat every incident with caution and seek immediate medical attention. Rabid animals often exhibit a stark change in behavior. Wild animals, typically wary of humans, may appear unusually friendly or docile. Aggression, a hallmark of rabies, can manifest in various ways. Rabid animals may attack unprovoked, biting or scratching at anything in their path. Excessive drooling, foaming at the mouth, and difficulty swallowing are other telltale signs of rabies infection. Paralysis, particularly in the facial muscles, can also indicate rabies, making it difficult for the animal to eat or drink. Any bite or scratch from a wild or unvaccinated animal should be treated as a potential rabies exposure. Time is of the essence in rabies prevention, and prompt medical care can be life-saving. Every second counts after a potential rabies exposure. Prompt first aid can significantly reduce the risk of infection and improve the effectiveness of post-exposure prophylaxis. The first and most crucial step is to immediately wash the wound with soap and water. This simple act helps to flush out the virus and reduce the viral load, giving the immune system a fighting chance. Scrub the wound thoroughly for at least 15 minutes, ensuring that all areas, even under the nails, are cleaned. Once the wound is thoroughly cleaned, apply an antiseptic solution to further disinfect the area. Cover the wound with a clean, dry dressing and seek immediate medical attention. Contact your doctor or local health department immediately, even if you are unsure whether the animal was rabid. Remember, rabies is a preventable disease, and timely medical intervention is crucial for survival. Post-exposure prophylaxis, or PEP, is a life-saving medical intervention administered after a potential rabies exposure. It involves a series of injections that work together to prevent the rabies virus from infecting the nervous system. The PEP regimen consists of two components: rabies immunoglobulin and the rabies vaccine. Rabies immunoglobulin provides immediate passive immunity by delivering antibodies directly to the bloodstream. The rabies vaccine stimulates the body's own immune system to produce antibodies against the virus. The PEP regimen typically involves 4 doses of the rabies vaccine administered over a period of 2 weeks, along with an initial dose of rabies immunoglobulin. The effectiveness of PEP hinges on prompt administration. Ideally, it should be administered within 72 hours of exposure, but it can still be effective even if administered later. The sooner PEP is started, the better the chances of preventing rabies infection. PEP is a critical tool in the fight against rabies, providing a safety net for those who have been potentially exposed to this deadly virus. Rabies, a disease often relegated to the shadows of public health concerns, casts a long and menacing shadow across the globe. While progress has been made in developed nations, rabies continues to plague many parts of the world, particularly in Asia and Africa. The World Health Organization estimates that over 95% of human rabies deaths occur in these regions. Dogs remain the primary source of rabies transmission to humans globally, accounting for nearly all cases. Stray and unvaccinated dogs pose a significant risk, particularly in densely populated areas with limited animal control measures. Children, often drawn to animals, bear a disproportionate burden of rabies, accounting for a significant proportion of cases worldwide. The economic impact of rabies is substantial, particularly in low-income countries. Treatment for rabies exposure, including PEP, can be prohibitively expensive for many, pushing families further into poverty. Addressing the global rabies burden requires a multifaceted approach, encompassing increased access to vaccines for both humans and animals, strengthening animal control programs, and raising public awareness about rabies prevention. While rabies may seem like a distant threat, especially in developed nations, each individual plays a crucial role in its prevention and control. Our collective actions, both big and small, can contribute to a safer and healthier world, free from the fear of this deadly disease. One of the most impactful actions we can take is to vaccinate our pets against rabies. Vaccination not only protects our furry companions, but also creates a barrier, preventing the spread of the virus from wildlife to humans. Responsible pet ownership extends beyond vaccination. Keeping our pets leashed when in public areas, preventing them from roaming free, and avoiding contact with stray or wild animals are essential practices that can significantly reduce the risk of rabies exposure. Educating ourselves and others about rabies is paramount. By understanding the risks, recognizing the signs of rabies in animals, and knowing what to do in case of potential exposure, we can empower ourselves and our communities to stay safe. Supporting organizations dedicated to rabies control and elimination is another impactful way to contribute. Education is a powerful weapon in the fight against rabies, empowering communities to protect themselves from this deadly disease. By disseminating accurate and accessible information, we can dispel myths, address misconceptions, and promote informed decision-making. Community outreach programs, school campaigns, and public service announcements play a crucial role in raising awareness about rabies prevention and control. Targeting specific groups, such as children, pet owners, and individuals living in rabies-endemic areas, is essential for maximizing impact. Educational materials should be tailored to the specific needs and literacy levels of the target audience. Interactive workshops and training sessions can provide practical guidance on rabies prevention, including responsible pet ownership, recognizing the signs of rabies in animals, and administering first aid after a potential exposure. Hands-on demonstrations and role-playing exercises can enhance knowledge retention and build confidence in handling such situations. Empowering healthcare workers, particularly those in rural and underserved areas, is crucial for strengthening rabies surveillance, diagnosis, and treatment. The dream of a world free from the threat of rabies, though ambitious, is not unattainable. By working together, leveraging scientific advancements, and fostering global collaboration, we can strive towards a future where this deadly disease is relegated to the history books. Eliminating rabies requires a multi-pronged approach, addressing both the human and animal interfaces of the disease. Strengthening animal vaccination programs, particularly in rabies-endemic countries, is paramount. Mass dog vaccination campaigns, coupled with sustained efforts to reach and vaccinate stray and feral dog populations, can significantly reduce the reservoir of the virus in animals, breaking the cycle of transmission to humans. Improving access to affordable and effective post-exposure prophylaxis, PE, for all is crucial for saving lives. This includes ensuring the availability of rabies, immunoglobulin, and vaccines in even the most remote and underserved communities. Continued research and development of new and improved rabies vaccines, diagnostics, and therapeutics are essential for staying ahead of the curve. In the fight against rabies, knowledge is our most powerful ally. Staying informed about the latest developments in rabies prevention, control, and treatment empowers us to make informed decisions, protect ourselves and our loved ones, and contribute to a safer and healthier world. Reputable sources of information such as the World Health Organization, WHO, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, and local health departments provide evidence-based guidance and updates on rabies. Regularly checking these websites, subscribing to newsletters, and following them on social media can keep you abreast of the latest news, travel advisories, and prevention tips. When traveling to rabies-endemic areas, consult your doctor about pre-exposure rabies vaccination. This proactive measure provides an added layer of protection, giving you peace of mind during your travels. Engage in conversations about rabies with your family, friends, and community members. Remember, rabies is a preventable disease, and together we can make a difference. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and stay safe.